Okay.
Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Friday night live stream for Georgia Shooting Connection. I hope everybody's doing well and had a good week. I hope you're not as tired as I am. And we are happy to have y'all with us tonight. We got Thorzak's with us again. We had invited another guest or two. Sharinda, I think, is out working for her mom, helping her mom on her job. So we'll probably be without her tonight. We've got Kyle with us, and we got Chico, and Chico's still a little busy, so we'll let Kyle kick it off tonight.
I was reading Big E's comment there. Hadn't tried it yet, but good evening, everybody. Glad everybody can be here. Once again, we've made it to another Friday. What a week. And I was telling Angel this morning, she goes, "How's your day going?" I said, "I'm thinking about just working till 11. That way I can still get paid for Monday because I'm about over it. This is ridiculous. Today was just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But glad to see everybody. Hope we can cut up with each other tonight and have a good time. Thorzak, what's up?"
Well, good evening, everybody. Yeah, I hope everybody's having a good evening. Not much. It's been a week. Got a project done that I needed to get done, and I needed to get a break during the rain because we've been having rain up here, and get a break and mow the lawn. So I went out and mowed the lawn today. So I'm pretty good, pretty happy about that. So that's a chore that got done. And other than that, I've just been thinking about tonight and what we're going to talk about. You got any ideas, Chico?
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. Yeah, I think we got some topics. Jamie was talking about one, but the side chat always put some up. But I had an issue today. If you guys follow my Instagram, I went to a business, and I've been in this business earlier this week. I didn't have to wear a mask. I got out of my car to go in there, and they was like, "If you don't wear a mask, you can't come in here." I turned my little happy butt right back around and took my dirty South coin somewhere else.
Do you mind telling us what business it was?
That actually was Goodwill of Georgia.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, I was in there like one of the first people. I was actually waiting until they open, and like I said, I went earlier this week, and Goodwill of Georgia, at the location I was at, and they're all over. It was like, if you don't wear a mask, you can't come in. So I was like, oh, turn around.
No pewter for you.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, but I may just go back, possibly, to get what I need if they have it. But I'll have to do some thinking on it. I'm actually gonna look on their website and see if there's a policy stating that. If not, I'm gonna exercise my freedom of speech and say, hey, it's not on your policy, it's not on your website through your CEO, but that may not get me nowhere.
I think they'll probably use the current situation to
correct.
Well, I kind of look at it this way. Some of those people, they're just doing their job. They're told, that this is what they have to do. And that comes down from their management. And I'm sure that these CEO companies, they're worried about somebody filing a lawsuit or something like that against them. And so, it's more like policy that's being taken place now from, the companies rather than just a regulation that the states are putting out or the CDC or something like that. I think these companies are just trying to play it safe and say, look, if we don't sell $20 worth of stuff because we told you had to come in here with a mask on and you denied that and shook your fist at us and said freedom first and wrapped yourself in the American flag and went out there and, played country western music full blast out in your car and, God bless the USA, who's with me, if you did that, okay, it was all for nothing because that guy's just doing his job. Hey, I'm just doing my job here, that's it. And, you can't really blame those people that are telling you that. So, goes deeper.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of all that. I'm just doing my job and the new normal and a few other phrases that's been born out of this pandemic thing. And one of the things that we want to talk about tonight, actually, I need to wait for a minute on see if Willie shows up. Let me text him and remind him that we're on.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of the terminology that they're using. We don't need to socially distance ourselves. If they want us to do that, they should call it physically distance ourselves, because you got the people calling into the suicide hotline is just skyrocketed from like 400 to 1,000% more because people aren't talking to people anymore. That's another thing that makes what we do on Friday so much fun. We get to cut up with everybody, and it's like everybody's in the same living room.
Well, I believe that, hey, if you want to be safe and wearing gloves and wearing a mask makes you feel safe, then fine. That's great, and knock yourself out. There's other people that just they don't want to do that, and that's up to them, and that's the way I look at it. I don't know.
This is a good first topic to get off the ground with here tonight. My computer will work. All right, maybe not.
It's there.
Okay. Do you load standing or sitting? Not sure if I need a bench extra tall or a little shorter. Jason, I'm about ready to build me another bench. And my ideas on my bench are I've always reloaded setting down, and all of them are like 30, 32 inches off the floor. So in this new adventure that I'm about to undertake, I'm thinking of building them tall. Like here's Lead Bullet Junkie said he uses a drafting stool. So he builds like a 40, 42-inch bench. And another thing that we've all, over time, that we've come to learn about what we need in our loading benches is eventually we get to an L shape or an H shape or a U shape or whatever. We get to adding on and all this kind of stuff. So I'm thinking of making like a 42-inch bench across this way that I can load standing up or on a drafting stool, and then back behind me or around this way a 32, 30 inch that I can sit down and load while I'm sitting down. Depends on how tired you are. Big E's a shooter. I mean a sitter.
I think it depends on how you're loading and how much you're loading. Like running my Dillon, which is what I pretty much load, well, not all, but most of my large primer stuff on. I have a Dillon on a strong mount, and it's just easier to stand there and pound it out. And you can stand there for a while. If I'm scoop measuring or using a powder trickler or something like that, it's a lot easier for me to just sit down. Then I'll put the little Lee on there, the turret press, and I'll just sit there and load up 25, 50, maybe 100 while I'm sitting there. It's not that bad. I'm tired of sitting once I'm done with 100, but if I'm banging out multiple, if I'm on load 500 rounds on the Dillon, I want to be standing up because I can move around, keep myself a little bit loose. You're still in the groove, doing all that. It's more comfortable for me to do that standing up. It's all a personal choice.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
what about you, Thorzak?
My bench is set up so where I'm standing up. I'm standing up when I'm using my Dillons and my Stars. I'm right there, where everything's at, waist level. for, I got everything in front of me and everything I can need to see is right there. However, I will say though, casting is a whole different story with me. I don't like casting while standing up because I'm down there and I'm trying to look, I'm trying to look where the spout is. I'm trying to get that all lined up and stuff like that. I feel after a while that my back starts bothering me. So I like to sit down when I'm casting. That way I can just be kind of like right there and I can just dip my head down and I see it in there. Zoop, 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 zoop. Man, I'm done, and I find that works out better for me, to cast sitting down. I reload when I'm standing up. I do all my sizing and lubrication. That's all done when I'm standing up. And then I cast sitting down. How about you, Chico?
I reload standing up because I'm I think it's
You're a stand-up guy.
Yeah, I'm a stand-up guy, exactly. But I want to be looking down in my cases, even though I've got this awesome light that Red Ray the Reloader sent me. And that helps. But like right now, I'm sitting in one of these high top what is it, a bar stool. So my bench is like at 30-ish, something like that. It's a pretty much a standard height. And I'm eye level with the brass. So I'd have to kind of look up. So I stand up, but I'm like stand up reloading. And when I'm casting, I think I sit down. I stand up and sit down too. It depends on wherever I have my casting bench set up, because I'll move it around. I'll move it outside sometimes, or make a little makeshift stand or something like that. Now if I'm brass prepping, just de-priming or something, I can sit down, no problem, because I'm just, whether I do it on my single stage or the Dillon. So
somebody forgot to lock the door.
Yep, Mario got in.
What's up, Mario?
Hey, Mario, glad to have you.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying, though, Kyle, about standing up with the Dillon 550. Because you're right there. You got your thumb on the little star and you're moving it through its paces, and you're just boom, 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 boom. You get into rhythm, man. You can really rip and snort on a 550. You can get a 550.
Hang out Rambo in an hour, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There was a comment earlier about coming home. You're kind of tired. You've been, dragging stuff around at work or that sort of stuff, and you really don't feel like standing. And so there are times when sitting down is kind of like, hey, I just want to relax and screw around with my reloading and stuff like that. So I can see, there's advantages in both, Yeah,
it's whatever I feel like doing at the time. I stand and reload on Loadmaster, the 4-hole turret press, the Dillon, the shotgun press. I mean, if I feel like sitting down, I'll sit down. If I need to look into something, I just well, whatever, But it's whatever I feel like doing at the time. If I'm doing real tedious stuff, either using a power trickler or a hand trickling, I'm going to be sitting down because, that takes a lot of time. I'll just sit down and get all the cases prepped and charged and all that stuff, and then I might stand up to seat and crimp all the bullets. It depends on what you feel like doing.
Well, and it also has a lot to do with the area. If you're like Jamie there, Jamie's got his reloading room there. He hasn't got a lot of area. He's got to plan that out, and, if you that's just the way it is. I mean, you gotta make things fit, I've got all my stuff out in my garage. And so it's really nice. I've got a lot of bench space out there, to utilize. But when you're in the house and you got a little room that you do your reloading and stuff in, you got to start thinking, where am I going to put this? How high do I want that? Do I want the shelves over here? I mean, you see a lot of guys that have built their own reloading rooms and they've planned them out. I feel through experience. Like
Nathan's got
to do it this way, but I got rid of that, and now I want to put it over here, and that works just fine. I wish I would have done that years ago.
Yeah, Nathan built his with like 3 different. It's a L shape with 3 different levels, isn't it?
I know it's 2. I'm not sure about 3.
Just 2. I thought it was. I thought he had one section that was a little bit lower than one section at about 36 inches, and then the other one at like 42 or something. I don't know. If he'd get his ass on here, we could ask him.
Whoop!
Bazinga!
Yeah, I like Chico's idea. We might all have to get together and do a "Where's the reloading press" video like we did for Cranky.
That'll get his attention.
Yeah, it might. But yeah, the L shape work is going to work out. Back a few comments. Lead Bullet Junkie said he's wanting to get him one of those storage containers, and like a 20-foot 10 by 20.
I think he's already got it. He just got to get it get the windows put in it and a better door and powered up.
You know, Mario put something up in the chat. I want to bring this up. Mario just brought this up in the chat. Go down to Harbor Freight and buy that foam interlocking pads that you just put together, and you put that in front of your reloading bench. Oh, man, I'll tell you, it takes a load off your feet, dude, man, standing on concrete.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. I mean, that will wear you out standing there on that concrete, man. It's hard. It don't
I'm
get
committing the cardinal sin. I'm reloading on carpet.
Yep. Or either that, if you've got a Tractor Supply Center around, or a Cenex, or you go down to the co-op, take a look at what they want for those pads that you put in for horse horse stalls. Those thick rubber pads. Those are exactly the same thing that they sell the industry, for people to stand on at work. Those are exact same things.
It does help a lot, because not everybody's foot is totally flat and concrete.
One of the buildings that I used to work in years ago, and it was built back in World War I, and the whole floor were these little blocks about that big, and they had a sealant around them, and that sealant was made out of some sort of probably cancer-giving stuff now, but it was like a tar-like stuff. And I'll tell you what, you can run around on that floor all day long, never bother you. Back of your legs didn't bother you. You didn't get, feel all stressed out on your legs. Your hips didn't bother you. And, I was working in the sheet metal shop at that time, man. And, man, that was great, man. It dampened the sound of all the machinery, because it didn't rattle on the floor and didn't vibrate the whole building.
Right.
So, yeah, I wish they'd bring that back. That was a good idea.
I will tell you this, in my experience, my reloading room used to be in the basement. It's got a concrete slab. Yeah. It was a shorter table. It was a shorter table, and I had to stand up to load on it, because the table was just high enough where once I put strong mount on the Dillon, I couldn't see anything. So I had to stand up. And at about that 45-minute mark or something, you'll be like, God almighty, let me just clear out this RAM and just go walk around out in the grass or upstairs or something, get something softer under my feet, no matter what shoes I was wearing, barefooted or whatever. But it would really hurt my back if I was, because I would load 2,000 rounds at a time, and then after about 45 minutes, you're ready for a break. And then I came up here it's actually the master bedroom of the house. It was the only place I could get this 1,000-pound reloading bench in here.
You had to tell the girlfriend or the wife at that time, I'm not trying to push you out of the bedroom, but I got to make room for this stuff in here.
Well, we couldn't get it inside the house except for through these two doors. Those are the only doors in the house that we could get it in. It took 5 grown men to get this solid steel reloading bench in the house.
Yeah.
It happens. We're having we had storms this morning, Razor, so be careful.
They were talking about storms about now, like 7:45 to 8:30, but hell, the sky's clear. I wish I could make what a meteorologist makes to be wrong 70% of the time.
You know what? We get the meteorologists that can't make it anywhere else. You know what I mean? That's the guy that we get here in Seattle. The guy that leans out the window and goes, about a 50% chance of rain, maybe some partial clearing, and some spotted of sunshine. That's what it's going to do today. Why don't you just turn around and tell me it's going to be morning? It's going to be in the afternoon.
Right.
Then the night's going to come.
With increasing chances of darkness in the evening hours.
Yeah. Come on, man. And they never get it right here. They never get it right here.
Well, I mean, from May to, I don't know, the end of September here in Georgia, well, it's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. May rain, may not. We don't know.
Yeah. One thing, though, down there in Georgia is that you've got a large agricultural community there, and them farm boys, they're going to get upset if somebody didn't tell them it was going to freeze tonight. And then the oranges are like falling off their trees.
That screwed a lot of people in the peach industry.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what.
We lost 60% of the crop, and we started importing them California oranges. They ain't worth, or peaches. They ain't worth a crap. They're just terrible.
Those TV studios that didn't put that out, those people deserve to get sued for every bit of that. People rely on the news.
It was terrible
for proper, forecasts. Hey, Crazy Scotsman, what's up?
What's up, fellas?
What's up?
What's up, bro?
Glad you could join us, brother.
Yeah, sorry I'm late.
Oh, we're glad to have you, man. How's it going?
It's going. Been a long week. Crazy week.
I think everybody's had one of those.
It was a really strange week all week long. I don't know if it was a full moon all week or what, but it was just weird.
It was. There's Squatch, Uncle Jim. What? Hey, you know what? Since James Pollard ain't here, or I ain't seen him, he might be lurking. And he's always telling me how Chico reads better than I do. Why don't we let Chico do that thing he does?
Yeah, Chico.
Here we go. Let me bring up my tab. Let's see. I'm going to do it backwards. I always do it different. Participants. Believe it or not, it says the only participant is Georgia Shooting Connection. That's why that is the only participant is showing. So let me go back to the comments.
YouTube is on the job.
Yes. Yes.
Once again.
We got Reloader 762, Andy 79, Z28, Kyle Lust is on the panel, obviously. We got Broke Loader, Jason Stewart, Lead Bullet Junkie, Big E, Uncle John, Vanessa Kitty, Chris 338. We got Six Shooter Texan, Red Raider Reloading, Tacos and French Fries, OL1 the guy, Jerry 1911, Big E, Russ Brumbelow, what's going on, brother? Midnight Range, Lever Guns 50. We got the guy that comments. Thanks for joining. He said, I thought I was already subscribed to Georgia Shooting Connection. We have Fuzz T Fork 8. Yeah, they were hating on my pewter. That's what I think for us. Kingpin. We got Rawless is out there. Signal Soldier 31. OCD Outdoors. American Reloader. K24. I've never seen you, but thanks for joining. Texas Outlaw Michael Sines. Paul Loud. Ghost Rider. Uncle Jim. Squatch Reloading. Got the Crazy Scotsman's on the panel with us. West Covina Dodge. Hey, brother. GGW Reloading. Razor JB. Mario Molson. And
Michael Sines is out there. Did you say him?
I did, Michael Sines. But thanks. A lot of people I say twice. Bobby Barlow. Thanks for joining us. Seems to be new, or maybe you've been here once or twice before.
Hey,
Hey, we got Rune. Hey, buddy.
Rune.
Hey, Ron.
Roon, hey, brother.
You're welcome.
And we got I think a host of Hidden Steel CA. There we go. Some of them are popping in as I'm scrolling, so it's it's almost 8:30 already, huh? And I believe that's all YouTube is allowing me to see for the moment. Hey, I did a live stream last night, and let me tell you how YouTube is tricky. I did the live stream. The only people that seen it who was actually got the notification for the live stream woke up this morning. It was like, you got 3 views. I was like, no way. And I went to my page and went to my videos. I could not find the live stream at all.
I didn't see it.
I'm telling you, I could not find. So I went in there and played with some settings, and it said reconnect with StreamYard or something. So I had to reconnect and give them access to my YouTube channel, which I wasn't, fond of doing that. But just Jeff, I see you, brother, out there. They tricky. They playing around some stupid stuff. So I did a Google search. A lot of other people had that issue also. So maybe it's just.
What time was it?
11:30.
Oh man, I've been asleep for an hour and a half already.
Yeah. So. They're messing around,
Yeah, I got to get up at 5 in the morning, so.
I know how that is, brother. Me too.
During the week, I'm an old man, but on the weekends, I can stay up for a little bit.
Yeah, Andy sent me a mail call, so he sent me some zinc bullets. So that's why I didn't have any space on my tablet. I didn't move everything off of put it on my hard drive, so I just did a live and did like an unboxing and just kind of hanging out for a hot second, about 30 minutes.
That's cool.
Well, I got some stuff. I can do an unboxing. Y'all want to see some stuff?
Sure.
So I ordered the flush mount quick change system from Inline Fabrication.
I like that.
And Squatch found the top plate that goes with the Redding T7. Let me see if I can pick it up. I'll show it to you. I'm in the process of mounting everything, so everything's in various stages of disarray, but there you go. And see that tab right there will slip into the slot, and then you just got
so Jamie, you have a solid wood bench, correct?
Yes.
Anyway, so are you going to have to router that plate in there?
No, because when I bought this, and these things are heavy, y'all. I mean, they're really heavy. This is the quick change plate.
Mm-hmm.
For $12 more, you can get the spacer plate, which I already have right here on my bench, so you don't have to route it out.
Okay.
So I was just in the process of mounting this when wife got home for supper, so I could have not eaten supper and had this mounted up by the time we went live tonight, or I could eat, and y'all can tell I don't miss many meals. So, and not just that, when your wife, you need to spend that time with your wife at supper time, guys. You just really do. But hopefully,
quality time.
Quality
Right
time. There you go, QT.
Sorry, Pico. But yeah, you need to. Never mind. What am I talking about?
You were talking about your new plate and stuff. So you're almost there to complete mounting it up.
Yeah, I just got to drill 3 more holes and put the bolts together. But I also got a box that I was not expecting from Broke Loader. And it was kind of heavy too. And I really, really, really like this burlap sack. This is a sack that shotgun shot comes in. I know that because it says 25 pounds of number 7.5. So, and he sent me a bunch of bullets. I mean, a bunch of them. And all I did is I made a comment on one of his videos. Those look good. That'd be interesting to shoot in something. Let's see if I can find my tweezers right here. And you know what, guys? I have been so busy. I've been working on the floor in the kitchen. I put down a layer of plywood, and then I put some vinyl tile down. So let me pop this up here. My computer is really lagging tonight, y'all.
There you go.
Is it going to do it?
That 38 or 9mm?
I'm going to measure them here in a second. There you go.
Yes, like a nice long.
Nice round nose.
Uh-huh.
It's got
caliber.
I think those are two lube grooves rather than a crump groove.
That may be a rifle projectile. I ain't know how long it is. 30 caliber.
Looks like.
Let's find out. I just happen to have some calipers right here. Who would have thought that, huh? Right, these are 357, 357.5. And I just also happen to have my Wahoo right there. Again, who would have thought that, huh? Wow.
180.
174.6. 174.7. 175.2. Pretty consistent. Let's see how long they are. .745. So yeah, I think those will work in. Those would be very interesting in the 358 Eagle or 350 modified Legend, or whatever you want to call it.
Did whoever sent those to you, did they happen to mention what mold they use? It was a Lyman mold or something else?
I got a note. Chris, I haven't got it mounted up yet, but as soon as I do, I'm going to do a video on it. I'm going to do a full reloading video. No, he didn't put the mold down, but he's out there. So, Broke Loader, we want to know what mold this is. Because if they work good, we're going to buy that mold.
I've got an idea. Oh, sorry. Thor, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's how this works. That's what this is all about. It's about us casters getting together saying, I don't know what your experience was, but when I used this, this is what I got, and this is as good as I can get with it, and it is junk. Don't buy it. You see what I'm saying? And or you get something that works really good, and you can show other people. Say, man, this right here, this is it. Yeah, and that's what this is all about, man. Getting together and sharing ideas and sharing our experience. So it's just like.
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
well,
Thorzak.
I was just going to mention, it's like, we all have our taste for, the different companies we like to go with. I mean, some guys like NOE, some guys like this, some guys like that, some guys like Lee stuff, some guys, and that's all cool. I mean, that's great. The stuff that works for you, that's great. I have a mixture of different molds that I use, but I usually just go after the designs that work. No matter who makes them, I don't really care who makes them as long as they're quality and they work. And that's it. But just promoting one single brand, that to me, I see some guys do that. Some guys really lean on the NOE stuff, or somebody will really lean on accurate molds. Or I think there's all good designs in that a lot of those companies produce. So you're gonna see that, Anyway, that's all I was going to add. Oh, by the way, that T7 you've got, that's one sexy press, dude. It's a sexy press. I gotta admit that. Those reddings.
I can't believe I got it. I mean,
you work that ram and it's like wet ice on ice, man. There is no play. There's no slop. There's no nothing in it. And it is dead nuts. Those are really nice presses. You pay for them, but they're really nice presses.
Well, my first video with it's going to be loading 358 Eagle rounds with it, and hopefully I can take it to the range and get them shot up. I think Kyle needs to meet me at the range, and he needs to shoot that rifle because we went and I took it down to shoot it down at his place, and they didn't want to feed or something. Oh, they wouldn't chamber. The rounds I'd loaded they were too long overall length.
Yeah, we need to get together because I need to shoot something.
Look, broke loaders out there still. I want to know how many cavities did that $4 mold have, and what is it made of? Is it steel or aluminum? For $4, it really don't matter, but I'm just curious.
It might be $4. It might be a 400, like for 40 cal or 10 millimeter.
No, it's 357.5.
What, broke loaders?
These bullets he sent me.
It's probably a dang single cavity.
Yeah, one cavity aluminum. But for $4, you can't go wrong.
I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Well, buddy, I owe you because this sack of bullets you sent me, if you loaded those in a single cavity mold, you sent me about 2.5 hours worth.
One cavity aluminum.
I'm sorry. I missed some of that. My side chat went down and Angel just got back with dinner. So
you're right, Paul. That thing is heavy.
I remember Jamie calling me when he got it. There's something on the front porch for you. I couldn't pick it up.
Yeah, I was talking to Kyle when Lisa told me
that. What do you mean by prep, man?
I went into a gun shop we used to have here, Fox's Gun Shop down here in downtown Pudsville, and somebody had took a 310 tong tool and had straightened out the handles on it, and it had a built-in 358-311 mold, and it casted a single bullet. And back in the day, I mean, this is 30 years ago or so. I bought it. It was like, $3 or $4. And I took it home and I casted with that thing. It has the most accurate bullet, one of the most accurate bullets out of my 357s and my 38s. The only thing is you can only cast one at a time. I bought the same exact mold from Lyman in a 4 cavity, but those bullets don't shoot as good as the one that was in the old Ideal tool. So they changed the design a little bit on them, but they still call it the same number. So, yeah.
Okay, are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let's show this. Mario, what's your daughter's name?
Ashley.
Ashley. That says so in the comment. Ashley, congratulations on your graduation. I wish you much success, and I know you worked hard for that bachelor's degree. Cal State Bakersfield is no Georgia Northwestern is what we have up here. So congratulations. I know you've got a lot of work in it, and I know you'll be successful in whatever you do. You just got to keep your nose to the grindstone and really work at it, whatever you decide to do. And I'm sorry you got cheated out of your graduation ceremony.
I'm feeling the same. I know exactly how she feels. My son's graduating high school this year. I said, son, you picked the wrong year to be a senior.
Congratulations, Ashley.
Yeah,
yeah, congratulations. You know, I mean, it takes a lot to stay in college nowadays with today's living cost and having to have a second job, and then you're worried about your loan status, and you're going ahead and you're trying to get your schooling done. You know, you're trying to get, you know, and just the simple, you know, support of going through those hard times and trying to keep your mind on your studies is really tough. And anybody that does that, I mean, and gets through it, man, congratulations, man. You really earned it. You earned it in a lot of ways, not just in what that subject is that you know, get your bachelor's degree in. It's that that's tough.
Then on top of that, Dave, she puts up with Mario. So you got to give her a big congratulations for putting up with Mario too.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but congratulations, really.
Very good, very good. Congratulations. And all of this pep talk you could have got at your ceremony. The only thing you really missed out on is that song. Da 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 da. And they play it over and over and over again until everybody walks across the stage and leaves, and you're sick of hearing it. So there you go. We made you a graduation ceremony right here on the Georgia Shooting Connection tonight. I know it wasn't the same, but I had a great talk with Mario this morning, and I always enjoy talking to Mario. And one thing he brought up that we need to talk about tonight. Yeah, me too, Mario. We played that. I was in the band in school, and we played it over and over and over again. You know, we've already brought up YouTube tonight, and we kind of bashed them a little bit, and that's justifiable. I mean, heck, fire, they deserve it most of the time. They do stuff that is not in our best interest or not exactly what we want to do. But a point Mario made this morning was if it was not for Mario, we would not have ever met each other. And we have developed a great community in spite of the way YouTube treats us. And for that, I'm thankful for YouTube and the community that we have developed, and the great friendships that we've made. And we're going to have an even better time if we ever get together at Dead Zero Shooting Park, which I can't see that being I don't see that being a problem for much longer. I think Tennessee's starting to open up, right, Scotsman?
Yeah, I believe so. And I'll get a hold of Scott this week and see what's going on, see if he has any updates on anything for us. But I meant to call him this week, but like I said, this week was a heck of a week. But yeah, no, it's they're starting to open up from what I hear, and I agree 100%, man, with the YouTube thing. You know, I've been doing this now close to almost 6 years, almost. I can't believe that. It's crazy. But yeah, I've met some of the greatest people, and I would never have met them if it wasn't for YouTube, even though YouTube sucks. and they're always beating us up and causing trouble and causing us issues. I mean, I found, I don't know, 3 or 4 more channels over the last week that I was unsubscribed from again. It's just a constant thing. You got to keep checking.
Absolutely. So there's an interesting question from Squatch. What causes the powder to flake off when sizing? I had a batch do that. Now, I'm assuming that you've baked them before you size them, right? Come on, that's funny.
Well, that's really not my forte. I mean, I'm traditional lubing.
I can tell you this: working with powder coat every day at work, when we have issues with powder coat, it's usually if it hasn't set properly, is where you'll see it flake off or peel off, or if it gets hit, it'll come off. So my guess is it probably didn't set right or adhere to it right, just like LBJ was just put up there too. But usually if it's not had enough time to sit, then that's usually when you'll have an issue.
I don't know that the ones that it flaked off of, I think I could think of a couple of possibilities. Number one, is there any way that some of maybe some kind of oil or lubricant might have been on the bullet and it got caked over and then flaked off? Is it flaking off just in the area that you've sized that was in contact with the sizing die, Squatch, or was it an overall thing?
That's a good point. Actually, it could be if you had like lube sizing die, lube sizer, it could have been stuck up inside the die when he ran the bullets through it.
Yeah, American Reloader says put some bubble packing plastic in that shaker bowl. One trick that I stole from Tin Man, Squatch, is after you get them cast up and they're before you get ready to powder coat them. Now, some of us size before we powder coat, then size them again afterwards. You can put them in a bottle with some acetone and let them sit in that acetone overnight. And every time you walk by, give them a shake and make sure you get all of the lubricant touching them. Touching them with your fingers. You have these natural oils in your fingers, and yeah. Then when you get ready, before you get ready to powder coat them, just strain them and save the acetone. You can reuse that stuff over and over again, and just let them sit there and dry. The acetone will evaporate pretty quick, and then throw them in there and shake them up for a couple of minutes, and
So for anyone who doesn't know, do not use brake cleaner on powder coated bullets or anything powder coated.
Or take off the powder coat.
Brake cleaner, yes sir. So your presses that's powder coated, don't clean them off with brake cleaner. But I haven't had that happen. But it sounds like it's a curing. Well, what Squatch was talking about, it sounds like it's probably a curing problem. You gotta, if you don't have that one of these right here for your toaster oven, probably get one, because they are mine is off. I think a lot of people's are off based on the dial or the digital readout. So get like a oven thermometer and you just set it in there.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of them are all off. Mine, I just usually set mine around 250, and it's probably right at 350, even though it's sitting at 250 on the dial.
Yeah, I think mine is 50 degrees low. So if I set it at 4, it's high. It's 50 degrees high. So if I set it at 4, it's actually 350.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. You talking about the brake cleaner, Jamie?
Yeah. Vanessa wants to know where you use brake cleaner while reloading. We use brake cleaner to clean a lot of the stuff that we get lubricate on.
I just talked to a guy today about that, and back the bench rest guys would take brake cleaner and then spray their patch, push it through, and then just take that patch off. And then what they would do is they'd have 50% Croil and 50% Hoppies, and they would dip their next patch in that and then push that through, and then just keep pushing patches through until they had it clean. And that was an old bench rest thing that guys used to do. It's that brake cleaner. I'll tell you what, another thing too, anybody that worked around auto body shops and stuff like that, whenever they got overspray, from painting a car or something like that, they got overspray on the bumper, or they got overspray on the windshield or something, they just take brake fluid on a rag and wipe it on there and let it set for a little bit and just wipe that stuff right off.
Yeah, especially a window. I probably wouldn't do it on a painted surface, but you're right. That brake,
not on a painted surface.
Yeah,
but you had chrome or something like that on
the window. Yeah, that brake cleaner,
take it right off.
Brake fluid to take it right off. Yeah,
take it right off.
So Lead Bullet Junkie, I don't think it strips it too good. I did have some bullets, and I thought I grabbed my my acetone or my, what else do I use? The 100% alcohol. What is it called? I forget the name. Having a brain. Denatured alcohol. That's what I thought I grabbed when I grabbed the brake cleaner, and it kind of gummied them up a little bit. So I didn't leave them in there too long. But when I noticed it breaking, it'll probably do pretty good depending on how long you leave it in there. As he's asking about recoating, he wants to recoat some. But that's what I did after I pulled them out and dried them off. I did recoat them, but it didn't take it all off. But then again, I didn't leave it in there that long, so it'll definitely take the powder coat off.
Yeah, look who's there.
Look who we got here. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Bacon.
No, it's my pleasure. Sorry, I'm coming in so fashionably late, but kids and other things, life keeps getting in the way of all the fun stuff.
Better late than never, man. Good to see you.
It's been a heck of a week for everybody, James. Don't feel bad, man.
Oh, I've had a heck of a year. It's just
we all have.
But 2020 is the year of Thorzak's on live streams. I'm liking it.
Thank you. Yeah, I get a lot of comments about how I sound like John Goodman. I don't look like him. It's funny, I do. I get a lot of comments. People say, "Man,
you know what you got to do then? What you got to do is you got to be like Bacon and just have a symbol up and just not show your face and then just talk.
Yeah, there you go.
You do sound like John Goodman. He's more of, and I think this. The thing about John Goodman and most very funny people are also very good serious actors. John Goodman, I saw him in one movie that I was impressed at his dramatic acting ability, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's about airplanes.
Oh, that was that one where they were fire. People up there in Alaska, and they were dumping fire retardant on the fires and stuff like that. And then,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. What the heck was the name of that thing? Anyway, yeah, it was a real popular film. You know, another good movie that John Goodman's in, and if you can rent it or find it out there, is Mother Night. He's in that one, and it's Nick Nolte is the main star, but John Goodman is in there, and John Goodman is really good, and that's a real thinking man's movie, man. By the time you get halfway through with it, you're going like, wow, the stuff that this guy went through. He was an American spy in Germany, and he was the Rush Limbaugh of the Nazis, and he became an American spy by tipping off the underground through his radio show, different positions and places where the Nazis were and stuff like that. And John Goodman was from the War Department. And it's a good movie. It really is. It's put out by the same guy that did Slaughterhouse-Five. That dude that wrote that. So it's a good movie. Yep, Mother Night.
Yep, based on a novel.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It really is.
Check that out.
I think of John Goodman, the first, obviously been a lot of stuff. The first thing comes to mind for me is, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? He was the Cyclops in there.
Yeah.
That one and The Big Lebowski, where he goes.
The dude abides.
With a 9/11.
Walter. Why does everything have to be about Vietnam? Why? Yeah. One of my favorite, you realize that, I'm no longer married, but there's a scene in there where they're talking, and Jeff Lebowski, right? He's talking to John Goodman. They're hanging out at the bowling alley, and he says something about this woman, okay, that that she kidnapped herself or whatever. And John Goodman, he's sitting there and he starts thinking about his ex-wife, and he just turns his head and he just starts going off. It's like PTSD, man, big time. That part is hilarious. I love that. It's a great, great show. I love the Big Lebowski. That you have to watch that one a couple, 2-3 times to really get it all under one roof. What's going on.
Yeah, and Kingpin, King Ralph.
Yeah,
he was the star of that one. So, and
not just that, his film role for years, or his TV appearance for years in Roseanne. Can you imagine working with Roseanne Barr that long? I mean,
he has a special place in heaven.
Hey, that's a testimony of Job, dude. There you go.
There you go. G. Pilsner. Nobody I know of cast for 6'5" Creedmoor, and I'm not saying that it can't be done, but with 6'5" Creedmoor, one of the things we like about that particular cartridge is its inherent accuracy at long range. And if you're going to be shooting long range, cast lead bullets is not really the ultimate thing to do that with.
Yeah, if you want to go long range with cast bullets, you should be looking at something in probably like a 45 caliber. Something like a 45-70, or maybe look at something like a Martini Henry, something along those lines.
Fallen.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's more about momentum with those big calibers. It's about momentum and the actual kinetic energy while it flies through the air. That's how they overcome aerodynamics back in the day. They couldn't make an aerodynamic lead bullet that would shoot long distance. They tried and tried and tried, and they just couldn't do it.
I will say a cast bullet in something like a 6.5 Creedmoor starts to make sense if you look at it. It's like I picked up a mold. I haven't cast with it yet, but I picked up a mold for a 6mm mold that I'm going to try out my 243. And I'm thinking that primarily is a plinking fun with the kids type of thing. So it's a caliber I already have. It's a rifle I already have. And loading up a whole bunch of cast bullets in there, I'm not going to wear out the barrel with those. and it's going to be less recoil for the young kids. And it's essentially it's a the same type of thing like you do to take to the range with a whole bunch of 22 LR or something.
Well, look at all the 6.5 by 55 Mausers that came in after World War II, as milsurps. I mean, hey, Lyman, Ideal, RCBS, a lot of those companies, they made molds for the 6.5. Most of them round nose, for that rifle. And, because 6.5 was kind of one of those oddball calibers, you either had a hand load for it. You couldn't find 6.5 available everywhere back then. So, people made their own ammunition, and as long as they stuck around 2,000 feet per second, I mean, you could shoot a deer with that. That would kill a deer within close range, no problem. Good shot placement, good marksmanship. You're good.
Yeah, we want to hear about this first mold, Mario.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it did, Junkie. What happened to that?
I got one I put together. I still got to go shoot it. I haven't even shot it yet.
One of the things I think most of the guys, particularly the reloaders, that didn't like about 224 Valkyrie was how rough it was on the brass. It tore the brass all to pieces, ejecting it. But I think that's pretty much sloppy work with a reamer when they're cutting the chamber.
Yeah, but could be. Well, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I can get out soon and shoot it. I was able to pick up some ammo last weekend for it, so hopefully, I can get out and shoot it here soon. See how it does.
Kingpin's on a roll tonight.
You got a Creedmoor, Scotsman?
I have a Creedmoor too. Yeah.
Awesome. I apologize. I haven't been able to keep up with much of anything for a few months now.
Yeah, no, I built the 6.5 Creedmoor. I built that last year, finished it last year. It took me 2 years to build it. But I built that, and then right after that, I did a 6.5 Grendel build, but that didn't work out so well, so I stripped it down and made it into a 224 Valkyrie. And I haven't been up to shoot it.
We got Georgia Boy 44 with us tonight. Nice of you to join us, Pastor. We've really been missing you, man.
Hey, Georgia Boy.
Hey, Georgia Boy. Another one, too, was that 22 Nosler. That kind of flopped.
All of those Nosler cartridges kind of flopped, didn't they? They had a
22 Nosler. I don't know if it flopped just for reloaders or not, but 22 Nosler is actually a really good varmint one, and I haven't seen a huge drop in sales when it comes to stuff like that. I still hear a lot of people talking about it for varmint hunting.
Squatch Pico put you a link for a thermometer up there, and if the Chico Wise from the Dirty South put it up there, I can guarantee you it's a good, decent deal.
Price.
Yeah, it's like $5. And that's what I was gonna say. If you got something to order, or if we're always ordering stuff, right? But you can find that same thermometer, similar thermometer at your local big box store. I probably paid maybe between $5 and $8 for this one, but I didn't want to order it online. I just so happened to be at a local big box store, but so yeah, it works. That right there helped me out tremendously with the powder coating, so I'm not guessing with the dial. So
okay, I got a topic I want to get to, but before we get to my topic, we need to get to Big E's. All right, he want to know what he missed. He went out for steak dinner after he gets crap stirred up.
Oh man,
right at the beginning of the show. I mean, no, we hadn't even gone live or anything, and he starts. Let me tell you what he did. He says, I'm taking the plunge. I'm no longer powder coating. It's all going to be high-tech coating.
He sent me some pictures of his high-tech coating a couple days ago. I've never high-tech coated, but those are pretty bullets.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work, but you cannot question the results. I mean, I know you got to put a lot of coats on there, and with that, the basket method is probably fine. All you guys know, I'm a stand-up kind of guy. I stand my bullets up on end and powder coat. But Squatch, let us know how far off your toaster oven is, man. It sounds like you're either not getting them hot enough or getting them too hot. I think they're not getting hot enough, and they're not really, that powder coat's not really adhering to the bullets. And you may have some contaminant on there. If you're touching them with your hands before you put them in the powder, number one, I'm surprised that the powder will stick. But if it sticks and there's some lubricant or oil from your fingers or whatever on that bullet, and then the powder coat is over the top of it, it's naturally going to flake. And I've got some bullets. I've had bullets that when I size them, they just the powder coat comes right off the side because the bullets are so big. And, I've not thought about it, but it could be that I've got my bullets too hot and they've actually shrunk this way, and gotten bigger around. I've not thought about that, but that could be.
I wanted to bring something about Squatch to the table here. Hey, welcome to, casting. I watched your video. You went and, made some 40 Smith & Wessons, and you went out there and you went and shot them. And you know what, dude? You're going to find out, man, 95% of your shooting can be done with cast bullets. You have very little, there's very little that a jacketed or a plated bullet is going to offer you in handguns, than what you can make, in powder coat yourself at home, cheap, dirt cheap. Dirt cheap to the point where you go into, one of the big box stores, sporting goods stores, and you look down there and you see how much they're asking for the commercial cast.
You turn your nose up at it.
That's unreal how much somebody will pay, for 500 cast bullets. I mean, I wouldn't pay that much for that. I mean, because I can make it, I can make it for like next to nothing, compared to those prices. I don't know how it is, throughout the rest of the United States. Maybe, it fluctuates in the way of prices on those bullets. But up here, I mean, our local Sportsman Warehouse, they're almost like $60 for 400 or 500 bullets. That's outrageous.
Well, we got, first of all, let me say bye to the Emperor. Sorry you got to run so soon, bud.
My PC.
Let me say hello to Mr. Chapin. He's out there. We're glad to have Mr. Bacon with us. And there's Wes Cavina. Chico, you want to do that thing you do so much better than I do? Because Pollard's out there lurking. I know he's going to say
he wasn't here for the first go-round, was he?
No.
Let me scroll back. All right, it's going from 834. Fuzz T Fork 8, 6-shooter Texan. We got Rebel out there. Broke Loader, G. Pensioner, Chris 338, Jerry 1911, Squatch Reloading, Lead Bullet Junkie, 6-shooter Texan, West Cavina Dodge, American Reloader, Vanessa Kitty, Paul Loud, Mario Molson, Ghost Rider, Floyd Hicks, Rune is still out there, GGW Reloading, Willie Bullet Man's out there. Roll a little. Joe Lead Slinger. Signal Soldier 31. Loads of Bacon's on the panel with us. Kingpin, I believe, had to step away, but he was and always is out there. Georgia Boy 44. Thanks for joining, brother. Big E. All out. William C. Chaplin. Lever Guns 50. And that is, and Tom Offless. Offless. I always mess that up. Tom O's out there, and he told me how to say it last time, but I get, and Andy 79Z28. So everyone, thanks for joining us for another Friday Night Georgia Shooting Connection. I'm seeing 46 out there. So,
hey Bacon, how did it work for you when you were powder coating? You know, how do you apply your powder coat? I know that you're a stand-up guy too, but is there anything special that you do when you shake them up or anything like that with your powder coating method? You know,
when I started, I failed miserably, and I was starting with Harbor Freight Red. I bought a vibratory tumbler to apply it. After that, and it got better. That's the only reason I've ever used a vibratory tumbler, by the way. And then, like many, I got hooked on the Eastwood powders thanks to Elvis Ammo and his obsession with the Ford Light Blue, and then tried several of their powders. Some of their powders are better than others, like any company. But now the powders I use use an old peanut butter jar or a mayonnaise jar or a Cool-Up container, and I'll throw 100 bullets or so in the container with a little bit of powder, and I'll shake it vigorously, spinning it round and around 15, 20, 30 seconds, depends on the powder and the bullets and what night it is. And then that's all it requires from me. Now, I've had a lot of people contact me to try to troubleshoot their issues, and I think I'm not convinced of it, but I'm pretty sure humidity and other atmospheric conditions play a bit of a role in it. In Europe, a lot of those guys have had some serious issues, and I think there's something in the powder coat here in the U.S. that they aren't allowed to have there that causes issues for them. You know, and some days maybe it's just because the sun came up at the wrong angle. I don't know, but yeah, I'm a shake and bake, usually around 30 seconds, and press on. That's a long-winded answer to a short question. Sorry about that.
And you do stand them up on their bases, right?
I do most of them. Most of the bullets I shoot are fat revolver rounds, so they stand up real well anyway. I don't mind laying down my. I've tried standing up the 30 cal bullets, rifle bullets, and you can do it, but at that point, I say why bother? So a lot of times the rifle bullets, I'll just lay them down. I don't put them in a big pile like some folks have. I'm not opposed to the idea of them doing that, but it hasn't worked well for me. So I usually don't go more than one layer deep when I do lay them down.
I understand.
Hey, Bacon, my frogs are saying hey.
I hear that. I saw you out there. I was hoping to hear you and the frogs.
How you doing, sir? I'm sorry. I was stuffing my face with Captain D's.
Mike Hessner, I think his name is. He had an interesting question. Has anybody ever shot bench rest or shot precision rifle? Now, are you talking position rifle? You know, precision rifle. You know, like what was that? F class or you know, that sort of thing. Or you know, I mean, bench rest does have a category where they use sporting rifle. And, you know, they actually are sporting rifle, and, you know, they've rebarreled them and that sort of thing. So there's lots of different categories when it comes to precision rifle. You know, I mean, a match rifle, you know, like, 308 bolt action match rifle with match sights on it. You know, that's precision rifle, you know, so yeah, that's kind of a wide net you kind of threw out there. Yeah. But the only rifle that I've done is seriously was service rifle, and but we shot right next to the match rifle guys, and they all had bolt actions and 16-ounce triggers and all kinds of stuff, and all kinds of fancy sights and all that stuff. And I shot it for a little while. I got into it real low, decided I didn't like it, so I got out of it. But hey, it's demanding. I'll tell you that, at least from what my experience from what I shot in national match. But as far as F class and that sort of thing, I've never shot F class or anything like bench rest. That it teaches on.
So I got a question for you guys. No, you'll know the answer or the fix to this. I'm hoping someone does. So I got that Lee Breech Lock Challenger press to do a lot of the trimming and stuff for 223, 6.5 Creedmoor, and so on and so forth. While I'm using it to deprime some of the 223 cases to see, just to get some stuff set up and try and get things working. When you lift the ram on that press, for some reason, it has a huge, wide, gaping opening on the right side. And instead of the primer falling down the left side and then the tube like it's supposed to, it's flying up the right side.
Which press?
The Breech Lock Challenger.
You got to put this in it, brother, when you deprime.
Okay.
So this right here, stop it. It'll make it. If you don't put this in, the primer is going to come on the right side. If you put this in, it'll send it down the chute.
Okay.
So this is your the primer.
The primer arm itself.
Primer arms, right? So I leave it in there when I'm depriming, and it'll send it down that little to the left side if you're standing behind the press, and it'll send it down in that little plastic chute.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I didn't have that in there.
That is one thing I've noticed with my Lee cast 4-hole turret press. When I don't have that thing in there, the primer attachment that Chico showed, the spent primers go flying everywhere. But when I put that in there, they fall right into that tube like they're supposed to.
And yes, Mario, you're right. Rookie with a single stage press. That's right.
Mario.
I'm blessed by my Dylan, dude, so I don't know what to tell you.
I like what Pat said here on West Covina Dodge. He just puts a 5-gallon bucket underneath his press, and when he's depriming, I mean that on my Dylan, I went with a drop tube and basically did the same thing. I got an old paint can down there, and they just go down that little tube right into the paint can. Yeah, but I hated dumping that little bucket. That thing fills up pretty fast when you're rocking and rolling, you're going on it, Yeah, that little bucket fills up really fast, and you got to pull it out and you got to dump it out. So, yeah.
Chico going to show us?
Here we go.
Well, yeah. So if you don't have this in, and you're depriming, that primer is going to come out this way. But on this side, it's got that big gaping. It's got a big slot cut out. And if you depriming with the primer catcher, the primer arm in there, it'll send it down this side. You see this little plate, and the tube is down here full of primers. So yeah, I like this press, man. I think the main reason why I like it because it comes with everything to reload. Like if you get the cheapest single stage, you got to buy that Ram Prime attachment, but this one comes with everything to reload. So you got your little primer arms for large and small primers. So I do all my 357 and 38s on this one, and a lot of prep work on it.
Yeah, no, I like the press a lot. It's nice and small. It's lightweight, not too heavy. You know, works perfect on this bench that I'm on right now. So yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with it.
How are y'all
I'm
liking?
thinking,
How are y'all liking those new lock rings from Lee?
they're awesome, man. I bought 2 extra sets just in case I needed them.
The spiny ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So right here.
Yeah,
they were good.
Yeah, they're quick. Luckily for me, I bought a lot of the steel ones before they stopped making them, or before they stopped, because they no longer manufacture the steel ones. But I found some being kind of clearanced out, and I picked them up quick. So
I will say the one thing I wish they did a little different is the tool they send. I don't know about you, Chico, but this is a little small for my hands.
you should, you know what, that hole in the back, you should get just a little piece of stock steel and run a drill bit, and run a screw in it and be a little longer. You know, the steel ones do not have a wrench to go to it, so they can be a pain getting out sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't have the keyway like the they don't have the keyway. They only have, they kind of got a little ridge across it. So
yeah,
The only tool you need is a set of vice grips. I mean, everything else is just you're being fancy.
Yeah, it is. You know, I was gonna file some flats on it.
So you mean channel locks don't work?
Yeah, they work. They definitely will.
Yeah, the vice grips, so they lock down, so it helps with that. Get a good grip on it.
Yeah.
My problem is I always buy that stupid right-handed, crescent wrench. I always get the right-handed one, and I've been looking for a left-handed one, and every time I see one, I either don't have the money to buy it, or, and then I go back to the store and they're gone. I don't get it, So what is it about this left-handed crescent wrench everybody likes?
Well, you got to talk to Georgia Boy. I'm sure he has several left-handed crescent wrenches.
Maybe you can send me one. I was thinking, Scotsman, what you might be able to do is get some sand, get some casting sand, and then take that little tool and press it down in there, and that way you've got an imprint of what that tool is, and then go ahead and make a handle off the end of that impression, then pour some zinc in there, and just make a tool out of zinc. See if that works. You might have to file it a little bit or whatever, but that might work.
Yeah, I mean, they're not too. Once you actually got it in there and locked in place, it's not too bad. You can almost take it out with your hands. It's not bad at all. But I just think it's kind of funny that that's the tiny little thing they send you and expect you to be able to work with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of zinc, those bullets Andy sent me after my live stream last night, I tried the size of one of those bullets. Didn't happen. It didn't happen at all. I had to knock it out with a punch. I got it up in the sizer, and I said, man, I'm gonna break my bench. My bench isn't the sturdiest one where I have this press that I just showed you guys. It's kind of right on the edge. I was like, man, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. That zinc is stout. Let's say that. So it's only like my size was 358 and the bullet was 361. And my NOE hollow point modes come out the same thing, 361, 362. So have no problem at all sizing them. But that zinc, yeah. I've seen Andy stand up on his press before, when he was sizing them. Not stand up on it. I've seen him exert a lot of pressure on to get them the size. So I probably should have lubed them at least, but I don't have lube. Yeah. No A-locks. I don't have any A-locks.
Well, no, you don't have to use that, Chico. You can just go ahead and use just a couple of spritz of that case lube, or just go ahead and use a Pam. Pam's cooking spray.
Okay.
Try that.
I'll try the case lube. I have a few different kinds over here. I didn't think about that.
Maybe some bacon grease.
There you go. Bacon grease. I know a guy who made some lube out of that one time.
Well, that stuff is still sitting in my garage, and it still smells good.
It's good forever, dude.
My grandmother kept a can of bacon grease on the stove, and she didn't buy lard or Crisco or anything like that. She'd buy frying oil, but she only used that to make biscuits. So let me, if I can be so bold, can we get to this topic I wanted to discuss? And Willie brought it up earlier today while we were texting back and forth. Does where you guys are, and I know we're scattered all over the country, is the reason I wanted to ask this tonight and get your input. What's the rules with your concealed carry license and wearing a mask for COVID?
I can easily start that. There's been nothing stated about concealed carry with the COVID stuff here.
Yeah, same thing here in Washington. That hasn't been an issue.
Yeah, nothing stated here either.
They've not said anything about it. And I'm like, right now you could open carry wearing a mask into the bank and nobody'd say a word. But I don't know. Y'all chime in, let us know what if there's been anything said about that and where you are. Mike Hester says nothing's been stated.
Back when this thing first happened, this just a little input on it. Back when this thing first kicked off and the mask, everybody was like the mask. Let me tell you, I was doing some side work and I followed the customer to AutoZone, and it's broad daylight. I made a video, but I didn't upload it because I didn't want nobody to judge me, and I didn't want that video to be used against me in the future. But this guy was standing outside the door in AutoZone, and he looked inside and he had a ski mask and he pulled it on and walked in the door. And I'm not like, no, he's worried about COVID. I'm like, he about to lay the AutoZone down while I'm up in here with my son. But he wasn't right? So, but after I started thinking almost what like your topic's about, Jamie, that's going to get somebody hurt, or it possibly could.
It already has. If you do some research on it, but there's been a bunch of people that have gone out with the masks on and already causing trouble all over. I've seen a few different things on the news and some posts and stuff. You just look them up, you'll see them. They're out there.
I've only worn a mask one time, and that was because I had to go in the hospital to take my son to an eye appointment. They wouldn't let me in the hospital without it. That's the only time I've worn a mask.
I wish I would have had one today. I would have had some pewter. Possibly. I didn't have one, or I would have put it on just to go in the Goodwill, but they turned me around.
The mask that I wore in the hospital is just one of those cheapo, you get a 4-pack for 99 cents, keep the sawdust out of your mouth type mask, but it passed muster, I guess. So, it didn't do anything but make people feel good. But
it's like submariners. Submariners wear life vests because it makes moms feel good. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy, no problem. I just I tried it out last night. I didn't try the 9mm bullet. I think it should be fine because they measured out 3.55, but I didn't think to try case lube. So but I appreciate it. Yeah, my Rossi is, I slugged the barrel at like 3.58, 3.58 and a half or 3.59. So no problem, brother. I will get it done. I'll just have to I'll put it over here on my other bench and I'll be able to put some oomph on it. I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, the whole mask thing with I'm gonna look into that Scotsman. But yeah, I was like, somebody's gonna get hurt if they haven't already. So
Yeah, it's happened, man. I knew it wouldn't take long, and it probably was I don't know, a week or 2 weeks after this whole thing started, where they really started putting all this stuff in place, and I started seeing different things pop up on the news.
MCK, hey brother, and who else that just jumped in? I'm sorry. Yeah, so who's casting this weekend?
Hey, you want to hear a stupid story about casting? It's more about neighbor relations than casting.
Oh
boy, I got a feeling I already know where this one's going.
Go ahead, babe. Let's hear it.
So I've got a neighbor, elderly, and I'm not talking, just a few years older. This guy's has several adult children. He's got grandchildren. He's got some great grandchildren, I think. Single guy. When I first moved into this house, he and I got along just fine. In fact, he thought the casting thing was pretty neat. He took me to his son-in-law's house, and Pollard wants to know if I'm wearing a mask. Nope. He took me to his son-in-law's house who works in roofing, and I picked up a bunch of old roofing lead. Hey, this is great. About 2.5 years ago now, I was casting one night, and the county sheriff showed up. So, can I help you? And he said, yeah, we got report of a fire here. Then the fire truck showed up, and it was called in anonymously, and I didn't know who it was. But over the last couple of years, he's called the county sheriff on me multiple times, calling in various things and fires and whatnot. Somehow he's convinced himself that I'm poisoning the world. Recently, some of the comments he's made, I think he thinks I'm selling bullets to gangsters downtown. But I got a letter in the mail a couple of weeks ago from a law firm here in town that says it was addressed to. I own 2 houses. I don't live in either of them. They're in other states. I'm a renter here, and so it was addressed to the property owner and myself, stating that I must cease and desist, or they're going to, go forward with litigation and sue me. So yeah, I can't cast bullets right now because my neighbor is threatening to sue me because apparently I'm making him sick.
He's smelling the sawdust. That's what it is.
Well, he could be smelling the dope that his daughter's smoking on his back porch, but
well, you and me talked about that earlier, James. And there are people out there that, they need a net thrown over them, and they're worried about people, with concealed carry permits, having guns,
Oh, yeah.
And
No,
so, there's people out there who need to be rounded up with a net, Think about it. And they're running around society. And you know what? They can do anything they want to somebody. What are they going to do? Throw me in the state mental hospital? I'm crazy.
It's tempting to be angry with the guy. I'm not. I feel sorry for him. I really do think he's suffering from some dementia. I think he was probably a jerk most of his life anyway, but I think he's now progressing to actual mental trouble. And so I feel sorry for him, but it's frustrating.
Yeah, that sucks.
Now, I would probably go ahead and fight it a lot more, but we're supposed to be moving here in a few months, so.
Yeah, the one guy I want to talk to you about there, James, like I said, they were watching him. There was a van across the street, Flowers by Irene or something, on it. And they were watching him. Yeah. And then, after a while, that van would leave, and then maybe a day or two later, then all of a sudden the phone truck would show up, the phone van.
Oh, you're talking about the loony bin that was just outside the military base threatening to blow people up?
Yeah, the guy that was calling up base cops. Oh, yeah, they were watching him. But you see, the thing is that he had some heavy duty. He had a D8, and he had lots of equipment, for logging and stuff like that. So, they took it a little seriously when they see what he's got over there. So how would we combat this if this guy went off? Yeah.
So, Dave, me and you are about the same age. And back when we were kids, you remember seeing movies where they would actually do that? They would throw nets over people and then put them in a straitjacket that was in the back and haul them off to the loony farm.
They would. They had this step van, and it had a big red cross on the side.
Right.
And they would go up on the street, and these guys would get out, and they'd run down the street after this dude, and they'd throw a net over the top of him, and they'd get him on the ground, and then they'd wrestle him into a straitjacket. And
what the heck were those vans called? They had the double doors on the back. I know exactly what you're talking about. I just can't think of the name of what brand they were.
Yeah.
We called them panel vans.
Paddy wagons.
Yeah, paddy wagons or panel vans. Basically the same thing that the milkman drove. You remember when the milkman came to your house and left milk outside your front door every morning?
We had a cow. I had to go out and milk a cow.
Yeah.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, they always had white uniforms, GGW.
Yeah, that's what they call them, man. The men in the white coats are coming to get you.
Yeah.
And like I said, man, I just don't get it. These people are mentally unstable. They have very serious problems. And, they're heavily medicated on, antidepressants and all kinds of stuff, right? And, they're running around in society with us, and there's nothing they can do. The way that the states are looking at it is like, they're mentally ill, so we have to feel sorry for them. Well, I don't know. They seem to be walking into places and causing a lot of harm to a lot of people. These are people that go off the deep end and stuff. They should be locked up, and we should be protected. Okay, against
Dave,
people.
in your state, they don't lock them up; they elect them.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't really like our governor, but I really, really did not like our governor before this dude. I think a lot of people voted for this guy just to get Gregoire out of there. Oh, yeah. Yeah. A lot of people were very upset at her. And I think that Inslee knew that, and he played the good old boy thing, got in there, and made his campaign promises, never followed through on it. Once he got in there, he was just going to say, "Okay, this is what things are going to be. That's it. Left, right, left. Business as usual. That's it."
I can apologize to Jamie. I started talking about Nasty Neighbors when he asked who's casting, and he wanted to talk about casting, and here we are talking about politics.
Yeah.
Well, we try to stay away from politics on Friday nights because, there's a lot of people making videos out there just about politics. But I understand. I mean, if you got a beef you need to air out, for goodness sakes. But Dave, I do want to point out one thing about what American Reloader says. There's a lot of mentally unstable people out there. You remember when those guys were running around in the trucks with the white suits on, putting people in the straitjackets and all that? We didn't have no mass shootings like we do now. What I think, and this is political, I'm thinking that one of the reasons that I think we've failed as a society are mentally ill citizens. I think we're letting them run around wild out there, and that's where our shooting.
Well, you look at the shootings in general. They come on the news. They go, this person, blah blah blah. Well, they had a history, and they got reported so many times, but no one did anything. So the system failed because the system caused the issue. Because the system, they should have went and took care of the issue in the beginning, but didn't. They let him be what he was, do what he was doing, or she, whoever it may be. And then next thing you know, you got a shooting going on. But now it's the guns that are the problem.
Well, the world's always been full of evil people that takes on different forms. And I think one of the things that bugs me the most about it is every time it's reported, and we start to use the same language, they talk about it as the shooter. Why are we calling it the shooter? Why don't we calling it their murderer?
Right.
Yeah. Why don't we use the proper terminology?
Murderer. Yep.
And not just that. I mean, like Jamie brought up, the white van would show up, the guys would jump out, and they had a big old net with, or either that or some great big, butterfly nets, and they'd go after this dude, and they'd get him and they'd apprehend him and put him in a straitjacket and haul him away. And, it's too bad because we've got people that stood up and went, "Oh, you violated that person's rights." They don't understand where they're at. They don't know anything about their rights. They don't even understand their rights. How can you say that they have rights? I mean, these people are mentally ill, How can you take away rights from somebody who doesn't even understand what their rights are? It gets me. It's a whole lawyer thing and everybody getting sued. Oh no, we can't do that because we're going to get sued.
I think one of the reasons it's so apparent here in my area is because we used to have a hospital for the mentally ill here in our town, and they closed it down. And now we never had very many homeless people, and now we do.
Yep.
And we've not had a mass shooting or anything like that, and I don't think we will. Frankly, because I think anybody starts some crap like that around where I live, there's going to be 4 or 5 people pulling their guns out of their waistband and stopping it. I mean,
well, and if you look over the last, look at the trends over the last 20, 30, 40 years, violent crime is down. This is one of the safest times in the history of our country to live here in recent decades. So, we can talk about an incident here and an incident there, but by and large, if you're not in a gang and you aren't dealing with drugs, the likelihood of you getting shot is really low.
And another thing about what Signal Soldier said about medicating the doctors being responsible for the opioid epidemic, I don't blame it so much on doctors and hospitals as I do the drug companies. And if y'all are sitting there watching TV, if you watch TV, and you'll see an ad for a particular medication come on a commercial, come on for a medicine. And then at the end of the commercial, they start telling you all the side effects. And I'm like, no, I don't want all that mess. I'm like, there's a point in time where the cure is worse than the disease. You know what I mean?
Well, see, that's the problem when it comes to medicines. A medicine cannot be approved unless it has a side effect, so they can give you another medicine to counteract the side effects of that medicine, and so on and so on and so forth. It's all just big business. Exactly. It's that constant turnaround, Chico, that constant turnaround. Just big business. Keep on rolling with it. And, now we got this whole virus that's supposedly the worst thing ever. And funny how, again, election year, and you look at the last 8 or so elections, we've always had some kind of thing pop up, but we've shut the entire country down for this one. And now they want to do a vaccine for everybody and chips for everybody. No. Shall not comply.
I hear you.
So if anybody has, sorry, Thor, real quick, I'll just tell y'all, if anybody has heard about the recent tragedy in Arizona, try if you do videos or make content, try not to mention the jerk's name, because obviously that's what a lot of people expect, And I'm so try not to expose mentioning his name.
Yeah. Don't give him 15 minutes of fame. You hear about these people that do mass shootings, They should be their names should be anonymous. They should never be they shouldn't even get a headstone with their name on it. You know what I mean?
You almost know they're looking for some type of recognition, because on their videos they say, hey, I'm gonna be the next X shooter. You know what I mean? Of this tragedy. It's like, if you're gonna be a shooter, go be a shooter. You know, and I'm not saying it like that, but you don't have to say, hey, my name is XYZ and I'm gonna be the next school. You know what I mean? So we don't mention names like that to give him any public exposure, because he'll get enough exposure in jail if he's still alive. So just.
Yeah, they don't even need to be recognized. They don't need their 15 minutes of fame. We don't need to know who they are or anything like that. We just need to know that they've been apprehended, or, you know, they were shot or they shot themselves or whatever. We don't need to know his family. We don't need to know his friends. We don't need anything like that. Just, hey, you know, he was hauled away and that was it.
So on a brighter note, what are you going to be loading over the weekend, Thorzax?
Well, actually, I'm waiting for my other star to come in, because I've got a whole bucket. I mean, a whole bucket of wad cutters. You know, these little, you know, semi-wad cutters. Not semi-wad cutters, a full wad cutter, hollow base. These are those NOEs. And I've been waiting for my other star to get here so that I can play around with the automatic bullet feeder and get that thing going for it. And, you know, I got to admit one thing. Backyard Inventor, I have no credibility whatsoever in these bullet feeders. He built me the first one, and it works flawlessly. And he's built me another one. I talked to him, you know, see, when this whole pandemic started out, he turned around and told me, he said, hey, I ain't doing anything right now, man. I'm going out of my mind. How about we get this thing going, and, you know, I can build me one and blah, blah, blah. We'll just build them at the same time. So everything was cool. So, you know, we funded the project. You know, he ordered the parts that he needed and stuff like that. We got it going. Well, that's on its way. It's coming. So, and that's with a new stand and everything like that. And I'm going to tell you what, Harry has been a blessing. Harry has really been a blessing. He's a great dude. I mean, he really is. Smart man. Very, 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 very smart. Takes the extra time to look at stuff all over, you know. Really got a gift. That guy's really got a gift. I'll tell you that. I'm so glad I met him.
So what caliber are those wad cutters?
What's that?
What caliber are those?
Well, those are 38. They're 38, you know, 38 357. I load these with 2.7 or 2.3 grains of bullseye. And these ones right here, actually, these weigh 148 right on the nose with the hollow base. But they also cast as a full cylinder, like a soup can that's, you know, it doesn't have a hollow base, and that weighs quite a bit more. And I imagine that's about 160 grains or maybe 165 grains. So it'd be interesting to go ahead and cast some of those and weigh them and try those out too. But like I said, I'm a traditional luber. You know, I mean, there's certain bullets I look for, and I also have to look for, you know, the ease of what goes through my lubricizers, my machines when making handgun bullets too. You know, so there are other things I got to take into consideration when I'm selecting a mold.
Okay, I got a quick question for the panel, and Dave, you're disqualified from answering this because I know you already know the answer.
All right.
Okay. And you can give me a thumbs up if you do, or a thumbs down if you don't. So, okay. Why is this round, why was it named 38 Special or 38 Smith & Wesson, either one? Why was it named 38 Special and the 357 Magnum was named 357 Magnum? They're the same projectile. Why are there two different names?
Well, there are two different case lengths, so you got two different pressures. But I don't know the full scoop on that, but I know 38 Special was a like a design. Police used to carry it, and then I think they went up to more. They needed more velocity or stopping power or something. They went to the 357 Magnum. I think James Paula says he knows. He knows. See, but Jamie asked that question because he knows the answer. So let's see.
Well, this is something I learned this week, and I want to share it with y'all.
I do know for a fact that the 38 Special was it was a police round, and I want to say they wanted to get better ballistics or so. Yeah, I believe better ballistics, more stopping power or something like that, and they went to 357 Magnums. But I know Jamie's gonna spill the beans here soon.
I will say that if you look into the naming, the reasons certain rounds are named the way they are, every single round has its own story, and there is no standard unless you go to Europe where you're talking, so many millimeters wide by so many millimeters tall. When you come to the various caliber names, every one of them is a unique story, and there's no one set convention.
That is a fact. Actually, GGW and Thorzax, you can help me out on this. 38 Special was introduced in 1902. 357 Magnum was introduced in 1935. So, yes, 357 did come after 38 Special.
Yes, and it was 357 Magnum was also designed by Mr. Keith.
Yes, sir.
He was one of the people involved.
He was a businessman. He liked guns and he liked designing his bullets and stuff, but he was a businessman too. And he worked with Smith & Wesson, and they decided to develop the 357 Magnum. And I think, Jamie, what you're talking about earlier is that 1902, actually as far back as like even in the 1890s, the late 1890s, 1898 or something was when they first started playing around with the 38 Special. And like it went from the transition of black powder into smokeless powder. And then by the time the 30s got up there, they wanted more. They wanted more hitting power with the 38 Special. So they came out with the 38 Super Police, which is the 38 Special, but loaded with like 180 or 200 grain bullet. And they would lob that thing, and that would go right through auto glass and stuff like that. That's what they wanted. And so they were really striving to get more power out of the 35 caliber pistol. That's what they wanted. But, you go back as far as, the Prince of Pistoliers. Wild Bill, those were 36 caliber guns, 360 diameter round ball, and what's his name? He never got close to anybody who was going to kill. Cody, not Cody. Man, my memory. But anyway, Bill Hickok. He would sit back there at 50 yards with one hand with those black powder, pistols, 50 yards, and he'd shoot the guy that he wanted and kill him with one shot. So. Yeah, so 35 caliber has been around for a long time. It works. Yeah.
So we're getting a few guys that are getting very close. They're saying that 358 is the actual diameter of the loaded brass case. 358 is the actual diameter of the bore. And I have a loaded round right here. And my loaded round is 375.
375?
0.375. This one right here is 0.376.
You talking about the outside of the brass?
The outside of the brass.
Yeah, I've got some factory ammo right here, 375.
So the answer, as I understand it, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but we got a lot of people popping up in the side chat with answers, and that's what I was after, just to get some conversation going. From my understanding, 38 Special was named after the size of the chamber to slide this 3.56 round into. So the chamber is cut to 3.380. And later on, when they designed 357 Magnum, it's named after the actual diameter of the projectile.
Yeah, and that probably wasn't uncommon when the 38 came out, because there were several heeled bullets being used, where the bullet and the casing were the same diameter.
Yeah.
Like a 22.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Oh, it looks like Pat beat me to it.
Yeah. And from my understanding, the 38 Smith & Wesson is that kind of a design. It is actually a little bit bigger diameter than the 38 Special.
Mm-hmm. It's not the same bullet diameter. Slightly larger. You know what gets me, though, is that, you got the 9mm Kurtz, and we call it the 380. Okay, where'd that come from?
Now, that one I have no clue.
Yeah, I mean,
if you shoot it from one of those little pocket pistols, that may be the velocity.
Yeah.
Okay, Scotsman, I'm surprised you didn't know the answer to this.
I kept my mouth shut. I was watching the answers roll in, man. I kept my mouth shut. You know me and Elmer Keith, dude. I keep my mouth shut because I don't want to take away from the man himself.
Oh, man. We was kind of looking for an answer. And, yeah, Michael Sines, and David, maybe some of y'all can correct me or help me. From my understanding, Wild Bill Hickok continued to carry the old Army in 36 caliber, even after the Colt brought out the single action Army in 1873.
Hang on, here comes another history lesson. Dave, the 380, I believe, is named for the exact same reason the 38 Special is named for it, because the brass itself is 374, so you'd have to have a little bit bigger, so that tells me 380.
So that's the size of the chamber is cut.
Right.
Okay. Yeah,
I just looked it up, bud.
That makes
sense. Because I was kind of wondering too, and then Bacon made that pocket pistol comment, and I'm like, let me go look at this. But yeah, the base of the chamber, or the base of the brass, is 374. So that would tell me it's about the same principle there.
Cool, good stuff.
We're learning some stuff tonight, guys. Don't y'all love being educated? I do.
I'm
I've been
also
called a smart aleck a lot of times. I think that's what that means, right?
Yeah, let's go with that.
You've done what for how many cookies?
It was for a Klondike bar.
Ah.
Yeah, that round looks interesting in a lever gun, Michael. I'm just saying. 38-55 be pretty sweet in a lever gun. A little bit more power than a 30-30, I think. So I'm showing that we're about to that time, so we probably need to let Chico do his thing and start going through the room and let y'all good folks get on.
We are actually right about time. Everyone, thanks for joining us for another Friday night Georgia Shooting Connection live stream. We talked about a lot of different stuff, and I enjoyed it. and I hope y'all did. I hope y'all will be back next Friday. It's 40 of y'all out there. What YouTube says, but I totally agree from earlier what Jamie said. A lot of us wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for YouTube and other social platforms. So, but they was hating on my live stream and they didn't put it up. I had to do some work to get it up. So I want to say again, Andy, thanks for the mail call for the zinc bullets. I'm going to work on getting those size. I want to let everyone know I posted a link in the side chat for you APP boys out there with your APP presses. There is a new roller handle that's available over on TRN, and I posted a link to that, and I posted another link to what is that, the guy, no, wrong, a huge channel that did an interview with TRN at SHOT Show 2020. I posted both of those links. I'll do it before I get off here again, and y'all can check those out. But everyone, thanks for joining. I'll shoot it to Brother Scotsman. And thanks everyone for being on here, Thorzak, Scotsman, and Bacon.
I appreciate being here, man. As always good to see everyone on the side chat. Side chat was rocking all night long. So appreciate that for sure for everyone showing up. Again, appreciate the invite. And Willie, I know you're out there, brother. Man, thank you for these hollow points. These are going to come in handy. We will work on some 44 special loads with that. Hopefully this weekend or this coming week, we'll see. Hopefully get something like that to put together. I do have some 9s to test out and some 45s to test out as well. So hopefully I can get to the range this week. Or the Daniels, one of the two. Bacon.
No, I appreciate it. It's been a crazy few months, but it's good to see you all. And on one of these things, we always call it the side chat, but I think the live chat is what a lot of us show up for, while a few guys on screen provide some background noise. So appreciate all of you out there. I was able to make it out to the range today for the first time since the first week of February. But it was good news. I've got one of those Foxtrot Mike 45s. Don't know how many folks are familiar with it, but was having some issues and got it out today, and it's running flawless after I got a new bolt from them. So hopefully I'll have a video up on that soon. Chico threw up that video link from Gun Guy TV. That came out just a few minutes ago. If you want to see my ugly mug, I haven't seen the video yet, but I've been waiting on it to come out since SHOT Show. I got to do an interview with Joel and his son and another guy there at SHOT Show about the Reloaders Network, and I've been waiting ever since, and that was in January, and I had no idea when it was coming out or if it was coming out. It popped up during this live stream, so appreciate you having me on, and I've missed a lot of interaction over the last few months, and when I say missed it, not just been absent, but I feel like a part of my life has been missing there. So it's good to see a bunch of family and friends here. So thanks for having me on, Jamie, and Chico and Kyle and the rest of the Georgia boys.
Well, thanks for joining us. You're always welcome. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Mr. Dave.
Well, I want to tip my hat to James for joining us tonight. I mean, a lot of us haven't seen him, haven't really heard that much from him. I mean, and for him to come on tonight, and sit in on the panel and just be ears and eyes and just getting in with us. I mean, it's great having him. I mean, it is. It's good chat time, and
I paid him to say that.
Well, TRN, okay, TRN. If you haven't been there and you haven't, really looked at TRN, James has really put his heart and soul in just about every part of that. Everything that you see there on TRN, James has woven that together, and that is, I mean, it's an amazing amount of labor and time that he's put into that. And, like I said earlier, me and him talked and brainstormed over some ideas about some products, to offer on TRN. And, which, he does have a store, and there's a lot of things there you can get, that you can't get anywhere else. And, for a deal, I mean, you're getting a deal. You're getting rock bottom prices, from TRN too. It's not something that, making $1 million off of, It's basically there to help the hand loaders, and it's great. It's a great outlet. TRN it's a great, it's a great site to go to, and it doesn't cost you anything to join. Doesn't cost you anything to watch it. It's great. Other than that, from a personal point, getting back on Thorzak's here, I want to thank everybody for showing up. It's nice seeing the Scotsman. You too, Chico.
Yes, sir.
Kyle. And also you, Jamie. I appreciate you having me on once again. I would like to attend again. Just let me know, and I'll set the night aside so we can sit in, and have ourselves a chat. That was really interesting there about the 38 special. That was some good conversation there. Yeah, it really was. Yeah. So anyway, at this point, wish everybody a good evening out there. I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Kyle Lusk.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for being here. It was great. Side chat was popping. I'm sorry I had a late dinner, and I spent quite a bit of it feeding my face, and then I had to sit on the back porch with the frogs and let my stomach expand. So that's where I've been, but I'm back. The 38 special thing was fun. We need to start coming up with some kind of little trivia like that every weekend. See what we can come up with. Hope everybody has a wonderful, safe holiday weekend. Please remember all the fallen heroes that have given their life so that we can do what we do. Jamie, wrap us up, bro.
Okay, I showed you all the stuff that people have sent me. Thanks to Squatch, to the Scotsman, to Broke Loader. We're going to have some, and Charlie Brass Stuffer. I'm going to load some of his bullets up on the T7. I hope to make that video tomorrow. And Kyle, we'll have to see if we can get up to the range. Chico, you can join us if you'd like. So I got that. Y'all check us out next Friday night if you can make it. I just want to take a second and remind everybody what Memorial Day is really all about, and it's not about an extra day off and burning hamburgers on the grill. It's about remembering those servicemen and women who gave the last full true measure of devotion to our country and to our freedom. And thank you to all of those who made that sacrifice for us. Check out the Reloaders Network, Headspace, and Discord. Check out Uncle Jim tomorrow night. Think he'll be doing something. And check out Foreign and Domestic Sunday night at 7 o'clock on the Crazy Scotsman channel. And with that, y'all have a blessed weekend. We're in touch. Y'all be in touch. You can get in touch with us at Georgia Shooting Connection at gmail.com and Georgia Shooting Connection on Twitter. Right, Chico?
On Instagram.
Yeah,
we're going to get Jamie over there and get acclimated soon.
I mess something up every week. Every weekend. Anyway, y'all be blessed.
I don't have Instagram either.
And I want to say thanks to Bacon and Thorzak's, and always thanks to Chico and Kyle and the Scotsman. So y'all have a good weekend. We'll see y'all next week, Lord willing.
Night, everyone. Thanks for joining.